Phantom Brigade is a turn-based tactics game with one of the most unique gameplay mechanics I've ever seen, and it's getting the biggest update yet. What is this gameplay mechanic, you might ask? Well, you get to see into the future like a mechanical shaman. It's from the studio Brace Yourself Games, who are sponsoring this video, but it's still a game I've been wanting to cover for ages just because of how unique it is. So today I'll be breaking down what it's about, its awesome gameplay, and how the updates have changed it quite a bit, just to help you decide if it's worth playing or not. So let's get started. So what is this game all about? Well, let's keep that story quick because come on, we all know what we're here for, and it's not the lore. We just want to see epic mech on mech action like a sized up version of Robot Wars. Remember that show? It was a lot of fun. Basically, the Kazkat Dominion has taken over the Republic of Furland. Its military is gone except for a tiny resistance force, the Furland Freedom Forces, or the 3F. That's you. And you have one big advantage. You've somehow managed to keep the prototype prediction tech that lets you see 5 seconds into the future. So after a short tutorial, the game throws you into a reworked series of missions across Furland where that prediction system becomes the heart of everything you do. Now, I'll say a big reason why everyone is going to play this is because of that combat system, and it's something that really sets this game apart from the rest of the turn-based tactics games out there. In most titles, think XCOM, War Tales, Battletech, whatever, you plan a move and just hope it all works out. But Phantom Brigade flips that. You scrub through a timeline at the bottom of your screen and then just literally watch the next 5 seconds play out. Every movement, every shot, your actions, these are all visible before you hit commit. It's very cool. It brings this cool chess but with explosions kind of vibe where you see the enemy trying to flank your sniper and you go, hey, not today, buddy, not today. Let me give you a simple example. You move your mech into a position. You pick the perfect moment in the timeline to fire, or maybe guard, put up your shield, whatever. Timing is key because firing non-stop just overheats your mech and you're going to do damage, and you don't want to do that. So you hit execute and watch your plan play out, as well as all these stuff you didn't expect. Because everything works with percentages, you're not guaranteed to land every shot. It's a bit uncertain at times, because yeah, even with foresight, nothing is guaranteed. Enemies don't always die when you think they will, and trust me, friendly fire is real. I absolutely ran into my own mechs a few times. It's very embarrassing, it's kind of awkward, everyone just stands around, and yes, watching that happen in slow-mo, it really hurt my soul. So you start off light, but eventually you start unlocking better weapons. You got snipers, Gatling guns, these missiles that just come out of you all the time, giant lasers, and the battlefield just becomes this incredible, chaotic mess that's ridiculously fun to watch in slow motion. It's the best part, come on. I do think the sound design is very impressive. I mean, the background music sounds great, and when combining it with all these epic sounds from the missiles, the rockets, the guns, everything, it just feels like one of those mech games. You know, everything just crunching and steel and all these explosions. It sounds amazing. After those 5 seconds are done and your turn is over, you can go through this replay and scrub backwards and kind of just see what all just happened. Now, the combat is great. It's a lot of fun to play, but there's also a huge customization part, as well as that new update that comes with the upgraded pilot system, and that's what really surprised me here. Great, so now hopefully you come out of your battle still alive and kicking, and now it's time for you to reap your rewards. You get to keep some of what was left of your enemy's parts to use as your own, maybe some upgrades to your pilots, as well as some downtime to customize your crew. Yes, the battles in turn-based games are epic, but it's also the time between the missions that I love almost as much as the battles themselves. And when it comes to Phantom Brigade, there's almost no shortage of that, and with their latest 2.0 update, the customization and tweaking goes even deeper. That's because you've got this new pilot system. Like, I don't remember much of it before, but I think it was very basic. This time around, you've got this new recruitment and class specialization system. When you recruit someone new, they're usually pretty basic, a rookie, some fresh meat. But then they level up, like more health, abilities like repairing and shields. You get to choose what's what, and it all starts becoming very interesting. At first I was like, oh, there's only these few to choose from. I was like, is that it? It turns out no, it goes way deeper than that. You level up more, and you get to keep a trait and advance to the next level, leading to more impressive abilities. This means that you can have this whole range of pilots that all feel a bit unique in their own ways. Like my team leader, the Chin, man, he's all about those repairs, whereas the Canapé Crusader is the tank and loves taking all the damage she can. And I'll be honest, I thought that was very cool. Like anything that adds more layers to my strategy games, I'm all for. But don't forget that you can also customize your pilot's appearance, and there's almost too much choice here. But hey, I'm not complaining. Like, all hail the Chin over here. It really lets each character look different, again helping them feel unique, especially if they've been with you for a while. But now you can't just send in that top brass every stage because they can lose health and get tired. And if their fatigue rises too much, well, they'll lose even more health. So every now and then you need to set up a camp and give some rest to either your pilots or your mechs. Speaking of the mech customization, yeah, Phantom Brigade goes hard when it comes to the upgrades and specialization of your monstrous beasts. I can also see that they've updated the UI here, and the overall UI is just very clean in this game. I do struggle with the navigation at times, but hey, you get used to it after a while. Anyways, your mechs start off very basic, but after each stage, you'll be unlocking parts like arms, torsos, weapons, and so on. It's got this interesting salvage system that lets you keep some parts and salvage others, but there is a limit, so you need to see what your team have on them and then choose carefully. But yeah, upgrading your mechs is just too cool, and the mechs visually look very impressive. It's got this interesting style to them, like not 100% realistic, but like kind of smooth in a way. It's very cool. Plus your mobile base comes with its own progression tree, so you can upgrade how many pilots you have, how many mechs you have, as well as upgrading what you can create at your 3D printer. That 3D printer can be used to build new parts, or you can just use the ones that you've collected from battle, and you can even upgrade the ones that you currently have. It's all very seamless and great for beginners that don't really know what they're doing. Like honestly, I had no idea what all the little details meant half the time. I just look at the pretty colors and the big numbers, and I assumed the bigger number the better, so I just went with that, and it seemed to work out. And I gotta say, the weapons are very cool, and there is a lot to choose from light to heavy, melee to long range. My favorites though were the rockets that shot up in the air, the Gatling gun, and of course this massive laser. And I know these aren't the correct names, but I'm just here for the epic battles. So you put both of these together, your tailored mechs and your array of pilots, and you'll have quite some interesting variety when it comes to your gameplay. You can also mix and match like a swingers party, so things can get very spicy when you know what you're doing. And when it comes to the doing, well, there is a lot of it. This new update comes with a completely revamped world with new provinces, varied landscapes, as well as overhauled campaign systems. It's pretty cool. I love just cruising around in my little mobile base here. The game also has this day and night cycle and weather system, so sometimes you'll be fighting during the golden hour, the best hour of the day, so battles look even more badass. With your mobile base, you can also choose where you want to go in each province, so it's got that little RPG formula, and sometimes patrols will just jump out and be like, hello, and then you need to deal with those. Each mission has different levels, and the higher the level, the better your rewards. Something to bring up is the replayability. Now, these missions might feel familiar to people who have played it before, but this time around they have reworked a lot, so you're going to be going up against new enemy factions that have got new weapons and gear. There's going to be new objectives, and also the provinces have all these different kinds of modifiers, so you're not going to be locked down by doing the same thing over and over, which is pretty cool to see. Like, I didn't find myself thinking, oh, it's this mission again. They're all quite unique. I love the boss stages, and it was cool seeing how they've implemented them, but yeah, you have to love the time play mechanic a lot, as well as just the overall puzzle style to it. However, I did have a great time in the campaign, and just seeing all the little places you get to liberate, it's very rewarding. And I'm not sure if I'm just really good at the game, but I did find it on the easier side. I think for veterans of turn-based games, you might want to ramp up that difficulty just a little bit, just to give you more of a challenge, because yeah, I felt like I was just upgrading my mechs the whole time and just making them as strong as possible, and with the pilot synergies, yeah, it felt a lot easier than some of the more hardcore games like Battle Brothers, for instance. Overall, I enjoyed my experience throughout my playthrough of Phantom Brigade, but I know this game won't be for everyone. Are you a fan of giant mechs? Well, you're gonna have a good time. Do you like planning for a couple of minutes, carefully planning your moves in specific ways? Well, then you will enjoy it as well. And do you love customizing your characters for hours on end? Well, then you're gonna get a lot of fun here. And if you're on the fence, there is a demo that you can try out. I think it comes with like 3 missions that you can just test to see if the game is worth it for you or not, but I honestly really enjoyed it. And I must say, for this 2.0 update, they have made a lot of changes that might encourage players that weren't really a fan when it first came out. And if you haven't played it before, well, now is the time, because on the 19th of November until the 3rd of December, it will be going for 50% off. And normally it's like $30, so I'd say it's really worth it. But I think at the end of the day, it'll be that time mechanic that will sway your decision, as that's what you'll be doing most often. It's a very interesting game mechanic, and it makes it feel more like a puzzle game, but with a lot of strategy and tactics thrown into the mix. For me, I just love big mechs, big guns, and watching chaos unfold. And when replaying it again in slow-mo, well, it makes it all the more sweeter. And that wraps up this video. Thanks very much for watching. If you found it enjoyable, maybe drop a like or maybe even subscribe to find more games to get lost in. Other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.